What's up, guys and girls? Welcome to a new guide. As always, here's the Tea Party Percy, and this time we're gonna talk about the NPCs. I'm gonna use Lutheran as an example in this video to explain you guys the most important NPCs in a city. So when you're around level 25, that's the time where you're gonna be in Lutheran first and unlock the city. And there are tons of NPCs, and maybe it's a little bit overwhelming. So to make it easier for you guys, I'm gonna start where you're gonna start also your journey in the city, so right after the unlocking quest, and go through the most important NPCs. Also, guys, pay a little bit more attention to the minimap on the top right, and maybe memorize those icons. Because if you memorize those icons, you will be able to know where those stuff are even in the other cities. Each of the major cities will have those important NPCs, but on different spots. So if you know, okay, this icon is for this NPC, it will be much easier to find those NPCs in the new cities. Now, before we start with the guide, I want to thank you guys for all the support here. I have most of the time like 90% or even 100% upvote there. I didn't imagine to have so much support from you guys. I'm really grateful and thank you. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to check out my other guides. There are plenty of guides now, and there are more coming before the OBT. So yeah, let's jump into this guide now. So as soon as you unlock the city, you will be in the Lutheran Castle. And right in the castle you will find this table, guys. This is one of the most important spots because if you interact with this table, you will be able to enter the cube, the tower, and the platinum fields. I already made a guide about the cube, so check it out if you didn't. And tower is pretty straightforward. Platinum field, guide for that, will come soon. Just a quick side notice here, to enter those just mentioned dungeons or dailies, you need the daily ticket, and how to get that ticket and what it does, I explained it in the currency guide from a few weeks ago. Now, moving on, if you leave the castle, on your left side, actually if you look at the map, on the right side, you will see Exchange NPC. This one in particular is for exchanging your blue orbs for equipment. Those blue orbs were also covered in my currency guide, and you should know, don't buy equip with those blue orbs. But anyways, the important part here is to memorize how the icon looks like. If you pay closer attention to that icon, you will see in the center there is the egg-like thing, which indicates, okay, this is an NPC to exchange blue orbs. But there will be other NPCs with a similar icon. They will have those two arrows. Yeah, those are arrows, I guess. And in the center there will be another icon. But as long as those arrows are the outside or in the outer frame, you will know this is an exchange NPC. You will be able to exchange a certain stuff for items. Those kind of exchange NPCs will be also found outside of cities. Depending on how rare the item is, there are also hidden locations with hidden exchange NPCs. So you go there and there will be a rare item which you have to collect somewhere else, and then you can exchange those things with that NPC for more amazing stuff. So yeah, some of those exchangeables, I covered those in one of my previous guides. I hope I don't annoy you guys by telling I covered it in the X guide or like the currency guide or in the exchangeable guide. So I basically do that so that you don't have to search or go through all the guides to find what you are searching for. The next cluster of NPCs can be found on the top right in Lutheran. Those NPCs belong to the category PvP. As you can see here in the center, there is the billboard for PvP. So you can click on it and do some PvP. To the bottom left from the billboard, you can see an NPC, and the icon for the NPC is two crossed swords with the purple background. If you interact with this NPC, you will be able to see what you can exchange for PvP tokens. Obviously, PvP tokens can be earned by doing PvP and through achievements. And on the top left from the Colosseum or the PvP billboard, there is the Repair NPC. So this NPC can be found also in smaller cities. Of course, you need to repair even in the leveling zones, so you just go back to the small villages or cities and repair your stuff. The icon for this NPC, as you can see on the top left, or as you could see on the top left, is a shoulder armor piece with a hammer above it. And on the top right, that NPC, I mean, if you look at the icon, it's obvious it's a potion NPC. Here a small tip for you guys. There are normal potions and combat potions. Normal potions can be used like if you're leveling and doing dungeons, normal dungeons. And combat potions are for guardian raids and some other limited stuff like cube. Now, if we move away from the PvP area, kinda in the center, you will find those billboards. And if you're level 25, you won't be able to interact with those. But those things are really important because that's how you can enter guardian raids. So later, if you're max level and do some purple quest, you will unlock this one and can do guardian raids. The left billboard is for the stronger guardians, which require a certain entry item. Right billboard is for the guardians who doesn't need a particular item to enter or as an entry requirement, but there are some other requirements to unlock some of those guardians. But about the guardians and how they work, you will get more details about it in my guardian guide. To the top right from the guardian billboards, you will be able to find the combat item NPC. This one has a shuriken as an icon. And as you can see, you can buy by that NPC some basic combat items like combat healing potion, bombs, shurikens and abnormal status remove potions. The better version of those can be crafted and are sometimes necessary or like mandatory for higher guardian raids. But for the basic guardian raids, you should take like, for example, the shuriken for the scorpion raid. It's gonna make the raid a lot easier. And as I mentioned earlier, combat potions can be used, or only combat potion actually can be used in Guardian Raid. You won't be able to use the normal potions there. And above that NPC, you will find the Engraving NPC. The icon for that is a hammer and you will see a ring, and between those is a plus icon. Sadly, I didn't have unlocked that NPC there, and I didn't check the NPC that much during the full CBT because, to be honest, I fucked up at some point and forgot to do the purple quest, which was required to unlock the engraving interface. So yeah, do every fucking purple quest, guys. I had to backtrack at some point to unlock some of those functions, and the only one which I didn't unlock till the end of the CBT was the engraving stuff. So yeah, sorry. And of course, as soon as I have more footage about that stuff, I'm gonna do a engraving guide too. But basically, to make it short, you should be able to engrave in your rings later certain abilities, and to get those abilities you have to collect books, and then you can engrave those skills into your rings. So you have 2 rings, so you can have in each of those rings 1 skill equals 2 skills. So moving on, the next NPC we have there is pretty much easy to spot. The NPC has a blue gem as an icon, and yeah, this NPC is for ability stones. I don't need to explain it that much, so basically you can refine your ability stones here, and how to do that I covered that already in my ability stone guide, so check it out. The next important NPC is the stats reroll NPC. As the name says, you can reroll the substats on your equipment. The icon for the NPC, a hammer with a helm. By using silver, you can reroll the 2 substats, not the 2 main stats, on your equipment. Reroll, you need silver, and those 2 stats, depending on item level, will have the same added total amount. So for example, if you have 2 substats and you added those together, they will have like 200 points. So if you reroll that, the total will be always the same. So for example, crit 100 and harmony 100 at a certain item level, which is in total 200. So if you reroll that, it could be like crit 150 and harmony 50. It's still 200 as a total. And it's also possible that you get like crit 200 and 0 harmony. But the higher the item level of the equipment, the higher the total of those 2 stats will be. And of course, I use those 2 stats as an example. So if you reroll, not only the number change, also the 2 stats will be randomized, like from all the 6 stats, if I remember correctly. Now, the next NPC is the Rune NPC. The icon for that. Of course, a hammer again with a rune paper. And as you can see in the background, you can use this NPC to reroll rune slots on your equipment. Your equipment can have up to 3 rune slots. Sometimes the second and third one are locked, so you have to unlock those. And you can do that also by that NPC here. And as mentioned, you can also reroll those rune slots, because all those rune slots will have a certain color, and only their runes with the same color can be put in that rune slot. So if your equipment only has 1 rune slot at the moment and you want to put in a green rune in there, but the rune slot is red, you can use that NPC and try to reroll and get the green rune slot. If you are very lucky, you can get the boosted rune slot. As you can see on the right side, it has a highlighted outer frame kinda, so it shines a little bit brighter than the normal rune slots. And if you are lucky and get those things, and if you put the rune in there, the effect of the rune will be doubled. But you can only have 1 boosted rune slot for each of those equipments. And yeah, if you have the matching rune slot and the matching runes, you can also use the second tab of this NPC to add those runes into your equipment. The next NPC is still at the same corner in the city, which is the skill reroll NPC. To be precise, skills for weapons. The icon for this NPC is, of course, the hammer and a yin and yang icon or symbol right below that. So you can use this NPC to add or reroll skills on your weapon as soon as it has its 3rd or 5th star. So when you enchant your weapon to the 3rd star or the 5th star, you will unlock a skill slot. Kinda similar to the engraving, but you don't need to collect books for that. Now if you move down from that NPC here, you will find the next important NPC. The icon for this NPC is a box with a brown background. Pretty easy to spot, and you can buy here by this NPC ingredients or materials which you need to refine your life skill item. So if you find some ores by mining and you want to make out of those ingots, you need some items from this NPC. Same goes for other life skills, so you will always need to find this NPC and buy some cheap stuff to refine your raw life skill materials. To the bottom right of this NPC, you will be able to find the auction house. Of course, a brown hammer as an icon, and yeah, also pretty easy to spot. Here you can buy from other players life skill materials or other collectibles. Again, check out the currency guide. There are plenty of different coins, and for example this one needs the gold coin, not the silver coin. And also you won't be able to buy gear from other players. Moving on the bottom right area, you will find the NPCs which are related to crafting. So the first one here is the refine NPC and has a yin and yang icon without the hammer. And as mentioned earlier, as soon as you have raw materials from your life skill and those needed materials which you can buy by the earlier mentioned NPC, you can go to this NPC and refine those materials and get some ingots, planks or whatever. But from this NPC, you will find 3 actually identical looking icons. A sword with a green background. Those NPCs are really important. Actually, 2 of those. By the right one, you can craft legendary items or equipment. There are 2 categories on that one. The first one is to craft gear from world bosses, and the second one is to craft gear from guardian raids. Of course, to craft those gear, you will need certain life skill item, but also items from the world bosses or from the guardian raids. As far as I know, you can't trade those boss drops, which is really good. Otherwise, you can just go to the auction house and buy everything there and craft that gear. And that would be bad in my opinion. So you can buy the life skill stuff from the auction house, but you still need to kill the boss and get that certain item from the boss to craft the world boss or the guardian gear. To the left from this NPC, you will find the NPC where you can craft crafting gear. Those gears will boost your crafting level by 1. And the last NPC here is the one to the left, and here you can craft some epic gear which will help you to clear some guardians. The next NPC, this NPC is for enchanting. as mentioned earlier, the stars. So the stars indicates the enchanting level of your equipment. And as you can see in the background, I'm checking what I need to enchant my epic weapon. As mentioned in the gear up guide, there is no fail. So if you collect all those materials and enchant, you will get 100% success there. That's it actually. Those are the most important NPCs in my opinion. There are some others, as you can see here in the minimap. This is the layout from Lutheran, and I covered pretty much the top NPCs and the NPCs to the right, but there are some NPCs to the bottom left, but not that important in my opinion. For example, there is NPCs with the cook icon, and the green and the bread is all for the cooking stuff, so you can buy some basic buffs there, and also if you're a cook, you can cook some stuff there. Above that you can find the NPC with the yellow icon, and kind of like a gambling NPC, you can buy for silver some, or actually only one chest, and it can contain, or most of the time contains shitty stuff, and sometimes some stuff which you can get through life skills. And I heard if you're very lucky, you can also get some treasure chest maps. Above that you can see 2 exchange NPCs as mentioned at the very beginning. You can see the 2 arrows there, and in the center of those are 2 different icons. The one with the chest is the Chaos Rift Exchange NPC. Kind of long name, I just made it up by the way. So those Chaos Rifts are time-based content, or they appear all over the map. You have to run there at certain times, clear those with 30 other players I guess. You will get some items there which you can exchange by this NPC. And the NPC to the left, the other exchange NPC, is the one where you can gamble with your treasure chest map. So you can put there your treasure chest maps and hope to upgrade it by re-rolling it. But also there is a chance that nothing happens, actually the highest chance. There is also a chance that you lose everything, and a very small chance that it upgrades. This NPC got removed after the first few days of the final CBT, so I don't know if they're gonna implement this NPC for the OBT. Okay guys, I hope it will be much easier for you as soon as you unlock those big cities to find the NPC you need. And of course, if you still have any questions left, feel free to ask in the comments. And if you liked it, of course leave a like or a sub there. I would really appreciate it. You can always join our Discord, which is also linked below, to talk with us and ask some questions and get some direct answers, or to have a conversation with us. And also, if you have any suggestion for other guides, feel free to write it down. So that's it for today, and yeah, let's wait. I hope we're gonna get soon some information about the OBT. It's really hard to play any other games at the moment for me and some other guys who already played Lost Ark, and everything else you play won't satisfy you. By the way guys, what are you playing at the moment? Especially at those guys who played Lost Ark already. Come on, tell me something. What can I play as a gap closer to Lost Ark? You can write it in the comments guys. And yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support you gave me in the last few weeks, and see you in the next guide. Bye bye, your Tea Party Percy.